Hi, you guys. Happy Friday. Cindy Olin here with Create Your Own Luck and Love. I hope everyone's having an amazing day and evening wherever you're at. And I just wanted to pop on here as we're in our 7 Days of Love series and Love Talks Live. So you guys let me know if you're on. I can't fully see anyone right now, but I want to answer any of your questions around, any topic really, preferably around love, and relationships and all that good stuff. So I am going to dive right in. So our topic today is why men won't commit or don't commit, right? So this can actually be a very broad topic, and there can be a lot of reasons, but I'm going to dig into top 3 reasons why they will not commit, and a little bit deeper about what's going on for them around that. So they quite possibly, so I'm going to give you number one. Number one is he doesn't have to commit. And I want you to let that sink in for a second. He doesn't have to commit. He's getting all of, maybe you guys are like a couple, you do a lot of things together, and he's getting all the benefits of being in a relationship from you already, but he doesn't have to fully commit. He didn't have to. And so there may be some things going on around that too, as to, sorry you guys, I'm imperfect lipstick. So there may be some things going on for him around that as to why he doesn't feel inspired or compelled to want to commit. And that could be, so if you're dating someone and you really would like a commitment from them, and you're, intimate with them, you're showing up as a partner before, really having the conversation, then he feels like he doesn't have to work as hard to really, he doesn't see you as high of value, typically. Or he feels pressure. Okay, so you guys hear that. He feels an underlying pressure. Maybe you're not saying anything, but energetically they can pick it up. Or, so that is, I'll give you guys a few more today because that's a really big one. He feels this underlying pressure. Now, pressure comes from within, but as women, sometimes when we want something, we will, we'll try to start to push for it, right? And that, that makes him want to lean back and kind of pull away from wanting that. It makes, it's like what you resist persists. So he will continue to resist it. A man needs to feel like it's his idea to commit. And if he feels like, heck, he can have all the luxuries of a relationship without fully committing, and he doesn't feel inspired to do so for one reason or another, then he won't. So remember that if you do want to be in a relationship, and I'm assuming since you're on here you do, then you want to set boundaries around what you're willing to do in, within the confines of a relationship or not. One of the easiest things is physical intimacy. Maybe you're not physically intimate until you're in a committed relationship. So if he's not willing to commit, then you don't do that. And I think that is and if it can also be, and this is something I want to hear, I want you to hear this out, ladies. It may be timing. And I know that sounds strange because I think for us, we're always ready for love. We're always, as a woman, I think, well, not always, but for the most part, we tend to be more love ready than men. It could be that he's feeling a lot of pressure in his career right now, and he's really focused on that, and he doesn't feel like this is the time to focus on bringing in a relationship. It could be that he was out of a painful relationship and it ended. Hey, Susan. And he's not really ready to re-engage. So there's a variety of reasons, and timing is a really big thing. Or he's all of a sudden had a shift in his life and he needs to focus on whatever that is. So those are some things. And if you're just jumping on and joining, I mentioned, some of the reasons why men won't commit. Hi, Karen. And if you guys have questions, please feel free to post them below. And I just mentioned, the number one reason, top reason why a man won't commit is he doesn't have to. Because he's already getting the benefits of a relationship without fully committing. And if he doesn't feel like he has to, then he may not be feeling inspired to do so. Okay, so understand that. If he doesn't feel inspired to commit, there's a reason. It's like he's already getting all of that. And then it could be, and timing, like I mentioned, it could be anything to do with timing. Now, also, you've got to look at, another thing that I would encourage you guys to do is look at his history. Look at, how has he committed in the past? How much does he commit? Some people, some men aren't, even if they've been married, aren't capable of fully committing. And that usually has to do with childhood and what happened. I can say, for example, maybe they had a mother that was very overbearing. So they felt like, oh, if I fully commit, then she's going to, love is going to engulf me, right? And I don't want to feel that. So there's a variety of different things too. The other is that you're not the one. And, and that can be painful to hear, but it's something to be mindful of. If he's not inspired, you could do everything right. If he's not the right man, it's not going to stick. So, so those are things that, I could tell you a lot of things. Maybe he's just looking for something that's not so serious right now. Again, the timing thing. And he could maybe not be ready for the responsibility of a relationship. Does that sound crazy? No. And it's a good thing if that's how he feels, because he knows. Men are pretty good and in tune with themselves. They tend to be much more present than we are. Hey, Sarah. So did you have a question? I'm looking here because I'm seeing a couple of questions. Isn't ready. Yep. So yeah. Yeah, it's Kate just brought something up. She had, men will oftentimes tell you right away where they're at if they're open for a committed relationship. That's why it's really good when you meet them and on the first or second date, just say, what are you looking for in this area of your life? Even just as practice. And they might be like, I'm having fun. I'm getting to know other people, whatever. And I'm not really looking to settle down right now. If they say that, they're not ready. And it doesn't mean they won't be. It's just, if that's what you're looking for, then it's not going to happen. And it's not even worth your time. So it's always good to communicate about that stuff. Not to mention the man may be, so when a man doesn't commit or feel inspired to commit, remember it should be his idea. Now, I've seen, a lot of times with online dating or whatnot, or just in life, a man, if he's attracted to you or really charmed and enchanted, he may try to lock you down in a commitment right away. And setting boundaries is something that is really sexy to a man. And to say, gosh, you know what? We just met. And, I like to take my time to get to know someone before making a commitment, because this is a really important area of my life. And that's where I'm at. I look forward to getting to know you better. So things like that, another reason why he won't commit, and I'm giving you guys some extra goodies today, is there's somebody else. And as painful as that is to hear at times, in your gut, we always have good intuition around that. I just got asked this question, and this is a really good question. How do we inspire a man to commit? So I'm here to tell you this. If he is not the right person for you, there's probably nothing you can do to inspire him. I'm not a coach that's going to blow sunshine and say, well, you can inspire him to commit no matter what. If he's not ready and he's told you that, he's not going to be. So understand that piece, and it's not about you. Now, things that inspire him to want to commit to you, men are driven by fear, and they like to overcome and achieve. So if you're not giving him the whole enchilada, so to speak, so if you have boundaries with what you will and won't do outside the confines of a committed relationship. So for example, you don't have sex with them until you're in a committed relationship. And if you guys are hot and heavy and you're having a great makeout session or something, and he's like, all right, let's be committed. That's not real. So you've got to read between the lines there, because if he's just trying to do what it takes to get you to go to bed with him, and I don't think a lot of men are that way. There are some, but if he says it in the moment, wait to sleep with him for a little while longer. See how he shows up the next couple times. So what inspires him to commit is feeling like he doesn't want anybody else to have you. So if you're dating other people, you're getting to know other people, then men don't like competition. So they're going to try to get rid of it. And if he feels a good connection with you, it's going to inspire him to commit. And if he feels like you're happy and, you know, you are happier when you're with him, and he is more inspired to commit. How that you no longer want friends with benefits, but you want to go back to a lifetime friendship. Yeah, you just tell him. You just say, you know what? This is how you do it, Susan. And you can write this down because this is really good framework for a lot of conversations. Is, you know, she's asking, how do you, you know, move back into a friendship when you've had a friends with benefits relationship with someone, and you're really looking for a committed relationship and you're not looking for one with them, right? And so, you know, the best way to do that is to be straightforward, but do it with love, right? And you just go, gosh, Tom, I just have to tell you, I think you're great. And I do really have fun and enjoy our, you know, intimate time. And what I've realized is that, that I'm looking for, you know, I'm seeking a committed relationship. And I know that our little fun friends with benefits relationship is a distraction from me opening up to the possibility of really bringing that in. So I would love to have us go back to being buddies and, you know, really sending you lots of, you know, happiness on your journey too. And I appreciate your support, whatever's true for you. But if you do it in a way of like, hey, I think you're awesome, I really enjoy this, and then you do in the middle, you know, and be vulnerable. Like, this is what I'm looking for, and we're in different places, you know, you don't. And if he says like, oh, let's try that out, you just have to set a boundary. I don't see that for us. Well, if there's another woman and you're not committed, doesn't matter. You can choose to continue to date that person. If you like, I would date other people. I wouldn't make it a secret either. So if he calls you and and he's like, hey, what are you doing tonight? Oh, I'm going out on a date. Or I'm heading out for dinner. And if he asks who with, you say, I'm going on a date. Because you're not committed. And so one of two things will happen. The women will go away, and he'll be wanting to commit to you because they don't like that. Or two, you really don't want to set yourself up to be too vulnerable. Like, that means that you don't want to be intimate with that person if you're not committed. And if he's going to stick around, and not commit and spend time with you, then that shows quite a bit. That shows me that he's really interested. And if he feels pressure by you, or you've expressed that you want a commitment and he's just said, no, I'm not ready, then you've got to trust what he says. Men don't play games with their words. It's us women, and I hate to say it, that do. And I cannot tell you how many times I've heard this, and I used to say this before I understood. Well, he said he's not looking for a relationship. But do you think that once he gets to know me, he might change his mind? No, I don't. And it has nothing to do with what an extraordinary woman you are. So I want you to hear that. It's just where he's at right now. So I do hope that that is helpful. You could see it for us. Yeah, I mean, you could just pretty much have the conversation like, look, I'm really seeking, you're welcome. I hope that helps. Susan, let me just give you a little bit of insight. Yeah, this is what you could say. You could say something along the lines of this, like, look, I decided, I really enjoy you, and I've decided I'm looking for something a little more real. And I'm no longer interested in a friends with benefits relationship. And so, I'm happy to be friends. I'm open to, it would make me really happy to explore something with you, and it's your call. So it's his choice. I'd be happy to even explore something deeper with you. It's your call. And if he's willing to do that, he will figure out a way to bridge that gap when it comes to distance. They just do. So let me know how that goes. And well, so Kate brought this up, and you guys, I gotta run and I lost you. Okay. Yeah, so Kate, you're saying some men lie. They don't really lie in the beginning, typically, when they're getting to know you. And if they're attracted to you, and so that means they're a little more emotionally invested, and they're looking, if they're predatorial, they might lie to get what they want. But if they don't say whether or not they're looking for a committed relationship, it's up to you to get clarification in the beginning. And if you're willing to give them what they might want, then that's on you too. Yeah, so I hope this was helpful, you guys. And I really understand that everyone has a unique situation, within their dating or relationships. I'm happy to speak with you privately. I do have some spots on my calendar next week. I'm pretty full, but I do have a couple spots available, and I'm happy to help. So I will post a link to my calendar. Please schedule right away, and we can talk about what is going on for you. Hey, Serica. And give you support and guidance on what your next steps are in this area. Okay, sending lots of love. Happy Friday. Mwah. Oh, you're welcome, Kristen. Bye, you guys.